Hello, babies.
It's funny. This Celtics team. Look, this is what's bugging me with the Celtics team because we'll track into the same conversation that it's always been is the Jason Tatum and not knowing how to win type of shit. But this is also something I've been saying for the last couple of years. This is going back to Brad Stevens, to Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens. They've built this team to be a team that shoots a shit ton. They are on record to shoot the most three-pointers in Celtics franchise history. And through the first however many games, they have the worst three-point shooting percentage. So one of those things doesn't fucking add up. I know I'm not a math guy, Rain Man, but that doesn't add up. You want to shoot the most threes, but you're shooting the least percentage. It doesn't vibe with me. I don't think it vibes.
Let me run this through my calculator. Yeah,
Dennis Schroeder, Jason Tatum, Horford, Smart, Pritchard, and Nesmith are your biggest three-point shooters on the team. They're collectively 120 out of 410 three-pointers. That's good for 29% behind the line. It's atrocious. And this obviously comes from this game against Atlanta, where if you watched it, they didn't hit a fucking shot. I think they shot 4% from the fucking three-point line. Grant Williams is their best three-point shooter at 40%. Grant fucking Williams.
No,
It's
out on this team.
It's gone beyond the point of out on this team. Like how do you not realize you don't have the fucking personnel to do what you're doing? It makes me snap on the Jays and like getting hard on them, being hard on them, and being critical of them, because you watch the game and like Tatum has 5 assists this game and 9 assists, 34 points. And I get we're bad at Tatum because he's kind of ballless, but he's kicking the ball out. He's driving and kicking. He's getting doubled and triple teams and he's finding open guys. They just can't fucking make shots. If I was them, I probably wouldn't pass the ball either by the quarter through the season. I'd be chucking up shots to see if I can make it, because I have a better chance of making it double covered than you have making it wide fucking open, because you suck. Quickly, and that's the team that they've built.
Quickly, being Brad Stevens, he lived and died by the three last year. You bring in Ime, who also is using this philosophy. Wouldn't you go out and get a 3-point specialist for this team instead of getting Jason Richardson and shit like that? Wouldn't you try to get like a JJ Redick, a guy that
no money?
I'm just saying, instead of going out and getting those free
Richardson was $18 million. He made trades. He made a trade for Richardson. He made a trade for Horford. Now, granted, no one wanted Horford, and Horford's been great for this team. He's not shooting great three-pointer wise, but he's been great for this team. But the Richardson deal is a good point, Ray. Instead of bringing in another defensive specialist, which fine, they've been good.
Riddick retired though. You can't throw that out. He retired.
But give me someone. Let me go back to this, Bill. Why don't you sink your fucking teeth into this? Gordon Hayward for Miles Turner and McBuckets.
I'm all in, baby.
You don't think McBuckets? It could be that's the perfect guy in this fucking team. A guy that shoots over 40% from three, that can just stand in the corner and wait for a pass and hit it. That's who Nesmith's supposed to be. Best shooter in the draft. He's shooting like 14% and getting 9 minutes.
And Pritchard's not doing shit either after being the Street League MVP, scoring 80 points or something.
Never liked him as a shooter. He's a streaky shooter. He's a decent point guard, but he's a streaky shooter and a bad defender. This Celtics team has a ton of problems. Here's the number one thing that'll fix it: Jason Tatum grows the fuck up and learns how to be a.
We'll try again next year.
Player.
We'll try again next year.
Jaylen Brown in the same boat. That's the only thing that's really going to fix this team. But the other thing, and God damn it, I hate to say it, Ray. I hate to say it, but the fire Brad should have been all the way fire Brad, because the system and the methodology and the ideology of this team has not fucking changed. Has not fucking changed.
Nope.
Ime Udoka he's not playing his bench as much, and he's trying to, I guess, play starters to get wins, and maybe they're buying in on defense a little bit more, but they've basically built a team and said, we're going to win and die by the three. And that has never worked for a team ever, except for the
works for Ray's mom.
Shooters ever.
Come by March, when the March Madness is all said and done and Coach K is done. Maybe the Brad to.
Well, his grandson just got arrested for DWI with like 3 people in the car, and they all got arrested. It's some weird situation, but fuck Coach K. I hope he collapses on the courts. Carry on.
Defense has held the defense. I'm just gonna mute Bill for this segment. Hold on. My greater point on the Celtics is trying to talk. I told you he's gonna mute you. The greater point for this Celtics team is I told you that they needed shooters and they didn't bring in fucking shooters. They're 99.3%. They've held their defense. Defense has held the opponents to 99.3 points per game in the last 8 games. They're 5-3, including 2 19-point blowouts. A lot of people want to put that record at 7-1 if you didn't blow 19-point leads, but that's the fucking team that you are. That's the exact team that you are. They can't close, and they become a team that just can't shoot.
And they've been
a
known
team that's
to be
relying
like that
on shooting.
But that's been like that for the past 3 years. Nothing's changed. Just a different coach on the sideline. Nothing's changed. Same old, same old. You guys can't close. They have no balls. They're little bitches. They bitch at every call. Jason Tatum's not a real superstar because he hasn't grown up yet. It's the same thing night in, night out with this team.
Well, it's the same. Back it up a little bit. It's from the bubble, right? Because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals in the bubble, and a lot of people picked them to win, and they pissed away 3 games at the end with turnovers and bad shots to the Heat. Jason Tatum got blocked by Dwight Bosch. Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum were turning it over one-on-one at the top of the key. So they were really good up until the bubble, and it looked like they were projecting to be really good beyond that. And then you had the COVID year, which completely fell apart, and now the beginning of this year, which seems like they overcorrected a little bit, and nothing has changed. To your point, Ray.
No, nothing's changed, and nothing will change. The season's going to get worse, not going to get better.
I disagree with that a little bit, but to my greater point is
well, can I just say real quick to follow it up? If you keep losing, you keep having these shooting slumps, we've seen Jason Tatum just give up. He doesn't give a fuck.
Sucks.
It's all about the me. So if he's not playing well, if this team's not playing well, you're going to see him moping around, not being into it, just going through the motions, kind of like a JD Drew in 2020 with the Red Sox, just being there just so he can get paid. That's all he's going to be.
Yeah, I push back a little bit that Jason Tatum doesn't give a fuck. I think that he's certainly not intense enough to be the leader of a team, even though he should be because he's the best player, but I don't think he doesn't give a fuck. But yeah, I could definitely see him checking out. And I don't think that they won't continue to improve. I think that they respect Ime up until this point, and they'll continue to try. However, if they continue to suck, then yeah, everyone's going to quit at some point in the NBA, and that's just what happens. That's just what happens in the fucking NBA.
Yeah, that's smart.
Phil,
smart
can you stop undermining the fucking show in your fucking pink shirt just because we're talking basketball and you have nothing to say? When Ray has nothing to say for the first 30 minutes about baseball,
he spits out his beer.
I don't see him texting us bullshit and making someone else laugh.
That's right, Bill.
Ray is a fucking easy target and will laugh at
I
anything.
did not try to make Ray laugh. He just spit out his beer on his own. He's an idiot.
You said you killed Lou. That made me laugh.
You're a dumb fuck.
Not hysterically with
why don't you
fucking
sink your teeth
boogers
into
out
this,
of your
Bill?
nose.
Why don't you sink your teeth into move into doing something different with this Celtics team before we move on to our simplest mind of the week? I'll give you some latest trade rumors and tell me what you like. This is the big one. Ben Simmons goes to the Kings. De'Aaron Fox goes to Philadelphia, and the Celtics, who have been rumored to this guy for a long time, they finally get Harrison Barnes. In return for that, the Celtics have to dish out Grant Williams, Aaron Nesmith, Josh Richardson, and a couple first round pick. Also, out of the Kings, out of Sacramento, Marvin Bagley has been rumored to be on the move. Do you do that? Is that a deal? Do you dish out Grant, Aaron Nesmith, Richardson in the first round for Harrison Barnes? No. Also knowing that De'Aaron Fox goes to Philly, who's in your way.
That scares the shit out of me because I'm high on De'Aaron Fox.
I love De'Aaron Fox.
He's not the defensive guy that Ben Simmons.
Not to interrupt you, Bill, because I know you haven't said shit
opposite.
about this, but De'Aaron Fox is the perfect guy to put with Tatum because he's a guy that gives he cares too much. He's an asshole. He cares too much. That could maybe push Tatum to his fucking
Celtics were high on him too 1 year. The year he came out, the Celtics were real high and he didn't fall to him. I mean, I like it, but the problem is I don't want him going to Philly. No fucking way. And I think if the deal that needs to be made is Marcus Smart, Everything, any deal that's made around the Celtics right now needs to get that fucking testicular cancer off this team.
I'll give you one. This is a far-fetched one, and this is from I forget The Athletic, maybe DeJounte Murray and something else called
The Spurs.
Kayeda Bates, out of the Spurs.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Marcus Smart, Aaron Neesmith, and 2 first-round picks. One of them in 2025, one of them in 2022.
Absolutely,
knows those guys.
That's a no-brainer deal.
That's a no-brainer. But if I'm popping, go. If I'm popping, Brad Stevens called me with that deal, I'm hanging up the phone and I'm gonna do what Toucher and Rich did to Rick Pitino. Sell that deal.
Let me give you the in between then. Terrence Ross out of Orlando for Aaron Neesmith, Grant Williams, and a second rounder.
100%, because Terrence Ross can drop 50 off your bench.
Bingo. That's the deal. Give me some more. Give me some more fucking shooters and some more scorers. Like, this team has not been built to score. Like, you think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are enough to? That's not how teams work. You can't just rely on those guys to score. No one else can fucking shoot.
Terrence Ross
been good.
Like,
Shorter's been good, but he's a sixth man. He's perfect as a sixth man. But
he should start over Smart when Jalen comes back.
Should be shipped to fucking Siberia.
But I like Terrence Ross. He was drafted by Toronto. There was high hopes for him. He was a lottery pick out of Toronto and ended up in the Magic. But I think he's got 5 or 6 50-point games again, and that's the type of scoring you want. You've seen that spark on the bench. Think about the Celtics title run in 08. You had Eddie House coming up off the bench, Sam Cassell. PJ Brown went 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter of Game 7 against LeBron and the Cavaliers. Let's not forget who won that game for the Celtics was PJ Brown in the fourth quarter with 8 points. All right, so I mean that's the stuff you need that's the stuff you need on the bench. Terrence Ross makes my Langevin stand straight up.
Quickly though, I saw another 3-team trade. It was between the Timberwolves, 76ers, and Boston. Instead of sending Jaylen Brown, I'd put Marcus Smart in that situation. But basically, we get Karl Anthony Towns. You ship off Marcus Smart to Philadelphia. Ben Simmons goes to Minnesota. That's like the big names of the deals. You just throw in the pieces.
Isn't Anthony Edwards there though? Isn't he a point guard?
No, he's a small
he's more
forward.
of a shooting guard, small forward. Anthony
Okay.
Edwards is fucking awesome.
But don't they have a guard like that?
We need a big over here. I don't think
D'Angelo Russell, right?
I don't think Robert Williams isn't the guy. He is injury prone. He can't even stay healthy all year. He already has a bad knee already early in the season. He's not going to make the whole season. You need a big that can stay out there.
Here's what I'm tired of the.
Do you think Brown, Tatum, and Towns is a good 3?
No, they're pussies. Here's what you need. What you need. You need a set of fucking balls to slap Jason Tatum across the cheeks with them. That's it.
And
I don't give if it's a fucking big. I don't care if it's a point guard. I don't give a shit. Then you build the team around that. You don't have it.
You're
that. Reliant.
You had Marcus Morris here.
Marcus Morris is not that guy. You need a Damian Lillard. You need a guy
that's better than Tatum.
Better.
Bradley Beal.
Balls.
Bradley Beal.
Do
you think? Beal, can I answer your question? Hold on. Do you think getting Bradley Beal on the Celtics makes Jason Tatum go from budding superstar to superstar because that's their
Yep. I will lean to that. I would trade Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal at this point because I think Bradley Beal can bring Jason Tatum to another level and doesn't.
I've been saying it all along. Those two
Bradley
can't play
Beal
together.
with the ball in his hands is way better. Is better than Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown combined. So you want a closer? Bradley Beal is the guy. He led the fucking league in scoring. You just watch a couple of those Celtics Wizards games. Watch what Bradley Beal does with the ball, and you go, "Holy shit! How do you make that shot?" You never say that about Jason Tatum unless it's a step back fadeaway 3 that he's shooting 28% from right now.
Yeah,
Jaylen
you better
Brown
hope
is
they
more
start
of those than
losing.
Jason Tatum. But they're never
start losing. They are losing.
The Wizards, you fuck.
Oh, the Wizards, yeah.
Because Bradley Beal's going to be a pipe dream as much, but they start talking in the Olympics.
He forces the way out, which is not because they're winning.
Yeah, they started talking in the Olympics. I mean, that was the time. That's what we hoped, right? Jason Tatum start fucking recruiting. I always said Jason Tatum's going to get recruited. You know, I thought that was my biggest fear,
I agree.
and
Now.
it's coming to true now. I mean, it's either Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You need to figure out who you're going to keep and who you're going to build around. And the buzz around the league is Jason Tatum. I don't think Jason Tatum's long for Boston. I wouldn't be surprised in the next year or two he starts forcing his way out. I really do. I just don't think he wants to be here. I think he's going to fucking. Don't be surprised if he wants to link up with one of his boys. You know, he's getting into that LeBron circle, the Kyrie circle. Like that's, you know, he's getting that fucking ego in his brain. And I at this point, I've always said trade Jaylen Brown, but your biggest return is going to be Jason Tatum. And so, I mean, at some point, if he's going to start forcing his way out, you might want to look to maybe move him sooner or later and just blow the whole fucking thing up.
Yeah, you can't.
Build it
You
around
can't in the
Jaylen
NBA.
Brown.
You can't. You just have to hope that these guys get it and they stick around. That's all you have to hope. That's it. That's all you have.
They won't.
That's all you have. You can't trade Jalen and Jason. You just have to hope these guys figure it out. They stay in Boston.